What you doing?
Well, I'm trying to see if I can figure out how to set this tent up so we don't have to stand in the sun roasting today, because that's silly.
You mean that sun right over there?
That sun right over there.
Yeah, this is the 4-inch drain pipe that we started cutting on, and I ran out of battery. We got fresh batteries. However, Shannon had a fantastic idea. We're gonna put up some shade. Hey guys, welcome back to K&S Get Out. It's Shady Acres farm. We had to create our own shade for right here. The only tick I like out here is septic.
Oh my gosh. I did not expect that one.
It just hit me when I was over there. I was like, septic, septic.
You're such a nerd.
It's the only tick I like out here.
I get it.
I sprayed for the other ticks.
Of course.
Yeah, but today's the day. We got one of 3 projects that we're gonna try to get wrapped up today to help get the camper out here, and that is finishing out plumbing the septic for the RV hookup. So, Shannon bought this handy dandy little tent that is going to be a lifesaver because it's flipping hot.
And we don't work very well in dead sunlight.
Yeah.
We found that out the other day.
Yep. So we went and ran our errands. We went to Lowe's and pieced all this stuff out. And I'll show you what we landed.
We basically played plumbing Legos in the store.
Yeah. And we weren't the only people doing it. It's kind of funny. Like, we had to spread out between 2 or 3 other groups of people that were like, okay, I need this 4-inch, and then I need to step down to 3, and da-da-da.
It was fun.
It's like, we're gonna fit right in. We got this. So we got one long 4-inch piece of PVC that will basically be cut up throughout the project to use the different couplings and get everything connected. And now I do have to finish cutting this. I started it the other day. We burnt out, started getting hangry, had to leave. Also,
batteries weren't charged.
I drained the batteries. I think I blew through 2 batteries. So we'll finish cutting that. Then, yeah, that's right. You're gonna get the breakdown. You want that?
Well, I just thought I would help you out a little bit there.
We're gonna finish cutting that pipe. And then we use this little 4x4 connector, Fernco, rubber gasket, blah, 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 blah. Put that on there. I'll cut a little piece of PVC off the 4-inch. We'll slip that inside here. And then I opted, instead of a 90-degree elbow, because of the angle that this is already at a little bit, I opted for a 45. And I think that 45 is gonna be a little bit better for basically flow. If I went with a 90, it would kind of be going back away from the camper a little bit, and our tubes would go like this and down. So we opted for the 45.
We want our poop to flow well.
I think most everybody does, especially if it's going, you know, out somewhere else. So here, little 4-inch PVC pipe right there. We'll glue this guy. We'll glue another piece of PVC there. Then he's gonna go to the YMCA, have another little 4-inch PVC there, splits off. We got enough angle right here so that it will flow, if you can see down there. Hello. So it'll flow down. And then we got 2 90s. And of course we'll have another 4-inch PVC in there. And those 2 90s will both go up. I'll have one on each side. And at the top of those, another little 4-inch PVC pipe between them. We will put this female adapter on there so that I can cap it off if we're ever taking the camper out of here and keep stuff out. Otherwise, our hoses from the camper will go into both of these.
And those are threaded, right?
Those are threaded, and I do have the Rhino hoses that we got they have the adapters. I think they're by default 3-inchers, but they do have the step rings. No, they're 4, I don't know. They'll work, I know, because this is the size of the ones we have at the campground. But basically, I have 1 black tank, 2 gray tanks. One of them is for shower and faucets, and the other one is just the galley for kitchen. The black and the gray, these share 1 hose, and then this galley is its own. So that way I can take this hose, hook it to one end of the septic, and then I can take this hose, hook it to the other off the Y, and leave them both hooked up full time. I always leave the grays open, and then we flush the blacks, and I have a flush that comes behind it with fresh water. I just run for 15-20 minutes after I flush it. I'd like to have that same setup we have here. Shannon did ask, are we gonna run PVC from the camper over? We may do that, I don't know. Right now we have the hoses. We just bought enough to get this septic up, and I have texted the guy about bringing rock out. So I think this will be easier if we have these PVC pipes in place, and then we know, you know, hey, this is the level of base rock that we want. So let's get started cutting this PVC. I did buy some normal blades for the reciprocating saw. After we're done using this carbide tip blade for the cast iron pipe, we'll switch over to those. I know a hacksaw would be a little cleaner, but it's really hot and we want to go fast. So we'll see how that goes.
And now you guys can see why we played plumbing Legos in the store.
Yeah. Yeah, there were no instructions, there was no manual, there was no, here's how you do this. It was just a matter of, okay, how do we get gravity to flow? This is not a pressurized system. When you're doing sewage like this, there's no pressure. So it's just a Schedule 40, nothing special on the PVC, but you got to use gravity if there's no pressure. All right, well, let's finish cutting this guy first, and then we'll start chopping up the PVC.
Okay. Well, that worked way better this time, didn't it?
So apparently, guys, if you ever have to cut 1/4 inch or maybe 1/8 inch cast iron, maybe 3/8 inch cast iron, make sure you got fully juiced batteries. That was a huge difference. I had 2 batteries that had been used, one on a Spotlight, one on a circular saw, and I was like, oh yeah, they got plenty. Now we fully juiced this guy up. This is actually the one that came with Shannon's weed eater. They're both 20 volts. That went way faster than it did the other day.
Yeah, it did.
I'm holding a pipe that used to have somebody else's poop flowing through it.
Ew.
We'll just toss that right over there.
There we go.
Hey, you're doing a great job.
Hey, thanks.
That's more than enough.
It's more.
Yep, you're doing awesome.
There's just like a couple of big rocks, so I just felt like maybe there. Here we go.
Nice work, good hole digging.
Nothing like the hole digging you do. I think I'm glistening now.
Don't you really enjoy digging in this heat?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I
Glad
mean,
we have a tent.
that's not nearly the size of the hole we had to do in the well house for the...
I think I dug for 30 seconds.
You did awesome.
Maybe a little longer.
Okay, well, let's get that rubber coupling on there and start cutting some PVC. What do you say?
Okay.
Good work. Thanks for doing that.
You're welcome. Anything I can do to help.
I'll let you. So this is a rubber coupling that has these steel clamps on them. So I'll just tighten these down and that should provide the seal here. And then I can put 4-inch PVC right here to come up with that 45. All right, it's not twisting. I can't pull it off by hand. I got it. It won't even slide on any further. I see a good seal around it. I think that's gonna be good enough on that.
Okay. Hey, guess what I got you?
What'd you get me? Sharpie Pro. Marks on glass and plastic.
You can mark your spot.
Hey, thanks.
You're welcome.
Wax pencil. Pro. Am I pro enough to have pro pencils?
Hey, if you call yourself a pro, you're a pro.
I'm a pro. I need pro pencils.
I called you a pro because I bought you pro pencils.
Farthest thing from pro right here. But hey, that's just proof. Anybody can do this. You just got to put in the research, got to put in the time, and then try stuff. You know, just try it. And talk to people who know what they're doing. Or
AKA YouTube.
Yeah, go watch YouTube videos. There's a guy, I wish I could give him credit. I have no idea what his name was, never saw his face. He just basically cut into his septic, and that's where I picked this up from. I know Dutch did this, did the same thing. I'm pretty sure he wired his out too.
Lesson learned, don't put wax pencils in the sun.
I'm thinking it's just from the heat in general. I don't even know if it's because of the sun per se. But that'll let me know where to cut it. So basically just 2 hands on it right here. There's a little bend here, but I'm not gonna put a lot of pressure. I'm just gonna let it cut through. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Does it smell good? Can you smell it?
Oh, I don't smell it.
Just a tiny bit of kind of burnt plasticky smell.
I was waving the bugs out of my face.
Knock off the burrs a little bit. Now this next part I've never done before, but I've seen it on YouTube. Just a little bit of YouTube research. The primer goes on first, don't thin it, let it be yummy. And then you put this on, concrete, ready to go. Cement, not concrete.
Do you have to let the purple stuff dry first and then put the other stuff on, or do you put it on while it's still wet?
While primer is still wet, use an appropriate solvent cement for the pipe being joined. Follow application instructions from the cement can. Do not test with air. Okay.
It doesn't even make sense to me.
Basically, use it while it's wet.
Okay.
You do need to shake the cement. You don't need to shake this. Or at least it didn't say to.
But you just shook it.
Give it a little shake anyway. Oh, this is not big hand friendly. Oh no.
Do you need help?
Oh no. It's too far recessed. I can't get a grip on it. Oh man.
Oh no, do you need help?
Yeah. Help me, lady, help me.
It's probably because you shook it. I bet that's why.
Oh, you're turning on me.
Well, I'm just saying.
I could not get a good enough grip. Shannon couldn't get a good enough grip. These things are recessed. So, time for the channel locks. We were a little frustrated for a minute. Were we? Is that what we were?
Well, it's kind of silly that you have to get tools to open up a silly little can.
Well, you know, they don't want you using it inside the store and then putting it back on the shelf and putting your whole project together, I guess.
Seriously.
All right, it's time to party. The guy I watched did this very liberally. Wasn't even concerned with the cleanliness or anything, considering what's going to be going in this pipe. It says do not thin, so I'm going to leave it a little thick. It's still wet. We're going to apply the cement.
Do you put that on thinly?
Nope, it says do not thin. It's more like a gel, kind of like rubber glue a little bit, it looks like, and put them together.
Pipe Legos.
That's the first time I've ever plumbed or connected PVC pipe. And it's instantaneously, like I can't twist it. So I'm glad we did this part first before we get it in there so that I can kind of choose which way we want to go. So we should have about 2 inches then that goes into the rubber coupling and then have about that much exposed out of it. Ready? Mm-hmm. We're gonna lose all that stuff, probably?
Probably.
Just gonna knock off the burrs a little bit. I don't have a file, so I'm gonna use my gloves. Okay, so we need another one of these also coming out of the Y. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Apparently I wasn't ready, I'm sorry. I didn't hold that very well.
It's not easy. I do appreciate it because I don't have clamps. We're just plumbing right away. What is happening here? That sets up
Well,
quick.
what's happening is hopefully we're gonna have septic soon.
It would be nice. Okay, you saw what I've been doing, right?
Yep, I watched.
Lefty.
You said liberally, right?
Yeah, don't thin it out. It doesn't have to be pretty. Your brush strokes don't need to be like it would be on a painting. You just get it purple everywhere. You want it to be wet before you put the cement in there.
Does that look okay?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Looks great. That's the cleanest those pipes are ever gonna be.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We'll never look like that again. All right, so we have our Y fitting. We went ahead and glued these guys in. Then we cut another 5-inch sleeve. We don't know the angle yet of the exact pitch, but the 90 will go on there. I don't know, I don't think it's gonna be perfectly in line, but basically it'll go on here. Then we'll have this other 5-inch sleeve, and then we'll have our female adapter that the camper screws into. It's got a little internal threading right there. But until we get the piece down in the one that goes in the main 4-inch cast iron pipe, I don't know what angle I want this elbow at right here. So we can go ahead and connect this to this guy, but we won't glue this on until we get the piece of PVC coming out of there so we know. Does that make sense?
Well, it makes sense to me.
Basically, we're gonna have our field goal posts, but we don't know at what angle yet, because it's gonna be coming about like this, and I do want the best gravity that we could have coming out of the camper so that all things that need to flow down will flow down. I think the guy at KOA told me a 1/2 inch every 12 feet because the water will, if you got it too steep, the water will just flow right past any solids. But if you get it just right, then it will actually pick them up and carry them down with it.
Oh, I didn't know there was that science to it.
Yeah. Now he's thinking more from PVC down to the 4-inch. You know, here obviously I can't do that pitch or else I'm going to be all the way over there, which is not where our gray and black tank exhaust is. So we're going to hope for the best. Yep. We're going to learn. If we have to learn the hard way and change it, fix it, do whatever, we at least know it now from underground all the way up, something I've never known ever before. So having the full comprehension of what's going on here, what's going on in the well, that is so critical to me. And now I just got to learn a little bit more about power. And then we should have all 3 things that we need to be out here.
And we also have to finish out the pressure tank and all that. Yeah, we're trying to make progress on each of those. We're still waiting on that coupling to fix the seam between the casing and the sleeve that Rob brought, and trying to make a little bit of progress where we can while we're waiting. We're at the mercy of wait for the things that we've ordered and the guys coming out to bring rocks. So Shannon and I are just trying to make our own progress that we can in the interim, so that once all that other stuff is here, we can just hook up that camper and bring it out. Yes.
It's so fun to say that.
It is very frustrating waiting on people to call you back. I can't tell you how many times we have called people and like, hey, we'll pay you, come do some work for us. And then they either never call us back or they just flat out don't show up. Very frustrating.
Grr, she said.
Grr, I say.
She's really cute when she's frustrated. It's when it goes to the next level of actionable mad. Whew. That's when I just have to walk away and I'm like, all right, babe, you handle this one. And then when they come to me like, hey, we're ready to work for you. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you got the wrath. And they're like, no, it's okay. She's fine. She's nice. It's like, I know that wrath, man. There's a time and a place for that, but otherwise we try to be patient, we try to be friendly, we try to do it, you know, as professionally as possible, but eventually you got to bark a little bit and say, hey,
don't push me past my limit.
Yeah, we are spending so much money in gas, driving back and forth with the trailer and my truck loaded down.
And we're paying rent out there when we could be here?
Monthly rent out there, we're paying for power out there. If we were here, our financial stress would diminish even more, because I feel like we're just hemorrhaging money right now to make this work, and it's a lot of work in the morning to get ready, get Nala walked, to get her fed, and then get over here, leave her during. Can you tell it's getting to us a little bit? We're anxious to be out here, guys. It's all good, it's all a great learning process, and once we're actually out here and we're hanging out in the sunset, it's gonna be heavenly. But we're this close, we can feel it.
And we can't get any animals out here until we're here, because we want to be here with them. So it's one thing after another. We just want to be here.
Speaking of animals, here in the coming week or 2, there will be a video. We're gonna go see some friends. They are also YouTubers, and you know who they are. You know who they are.
We're gonna take a little road trip.
Yeah, we're gonna hold out. We're not gonna tell you all the details yet, but Shannon and I have been communicating with them, and they are just some of the sweetest people, and I know you'll agree once you know who they are, but I don't want to ruin it yet. So we're going to be getting together with them soon, and we may have another animal on the line that is going to be an integral piece to Shady Acres Farm.
Super excited about it.
Super excited. Again, we're having to be patient based on timeline and everything. But it's all going to come together, and it's been such a blessing that we have wonderful people like this placed in our lives, that they know what we're trying to do, and they know how new we are at this, and they're like, hey, we got you, we got your back. So cannot wait. We'll share that with you guys. There will literally be an entire video about it. We're going to go see them, and we're going to have a great time.
Coming soon.
Really looking forward to it.
So if you pray for us, please pray for patience, because we're getting very impatient.
That is very true.
I don't know what else to say, but we just need a little bit more patience to deal with people and contractors and people that we're relying on to help us.
We're getting there.
Trying to pay them. It's not that we're just expecting things for free. We're literally trying to pay contractors, and we cannot get anybody to come work for us.
Well, they're just having to evaluate. I think what they're doing is they're evaluating the monetary value of the jobs that they're doing. And I get it. There are people that are going to be paying them way more to come do other things. We're just these 2 little city folk that moved out to the country, and we're trying to get this and that done. And
we're small fish.
We're small fish, but you know, there's profitability, and then this is how you do business. And little do they know, we have a YouTube channel. So all of you know how good or bad those companies are when it's all said and done, and they don't know I don't know, you know, it's okay. It'll be all right. We also, we're so nice about it. It takes us a minute to flip that switch and actually be a little stern. And maybe we need to do better at that. I don't know. It's kind of just who we are. Easygoing, fun loving. But, you know, when it starts costing us money and wasting time, it starts to test us a little bit. So prayers for patience is probably the best way to put that. But we're getting there, man. It's okay. We're good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and adhere the 90 to the little sleeve, and then we'll put the female adapter on it, and then we will figure out the angle that we need off of this guy based on how high out of the septic main drain it will be. Man, my perfectionism is diminishing. Certain things,
that's good.
It's very good. Things like this, like you just glob it on, make it nice and sticky because we don't want poo leaking through.
That was my problem earlier when I was doing that. I was like, okay, how much do I put on here? How thick do I put it?
I mean, there's a ton of this stuff. It goes a long ways, and we're not doing like a full house or anything, so.
Hey, you never know what we might need to plumb later, though.
This is so fun. This shouldn't be this fun. This probably wouldn't be that fun if this was more of an emergency situation or, you know, some kind of project that wasn't making progress towards something.
Like an entire house. And
there's that country girl. An entire house.
An entire house.
That's girl. No, keep it up, man. You just keep talking like that and you'll be out here in no time flat. Okay, one of the 90s has a sleeve. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do the female adapter, jump right to it and finish one side out. What do you think?
Go for it.
Okay. I love adding new skills to our lives, you know?
Absolutely.
I never ever thought I would be plumbing. And yes, this is technically plumbing. You got to prime these, you got to glue them, cement them, get them to stick. You got to make sure you got the right couplings, the right diameter. There's more research that went into this than I care to admit, but that's how you learn. We even bought the cute little cap as if we're ever going to move the camper, you know? So we can cap it off. It's like what they have at the KOA, nice and fancy. At the K&S Shady Acres farm, nice and fancy. We got caps. I can't get it off now, but no big deal.
Are you kidding?
Well, you know, kind of. Oh.
And he doesn't have pliers big enough.
Channel locks.
Okay.
Your dad had to explain it to me. Those are channel locks. You've got those little channels that they stop in.
Well, we're making progress.
Yep. We got our T finished. We got the 90-degree angles finished for the up and out. This, we're gonna adhere to what comes out of the cast iron pipe, like so. And then I'm trying to get it mathematically. We're struggling a little bit because I don't have all the details on how thick we're gonna make our material. I don't anticipate 12 inches, so I don't know guys. I'm thinking about 3-inch drain rock down below, and that would be maybe 3 to 6 inches of thickness, and then maybe another 3 to 6, maybe 7 or 8 inches of clean base rock above that. So I mean, we're looking at a total of 10 to 12 inches, not even quite 12. With this fitting in there, that would put this portion of it technically under the base rock and the drain rock a little bit, or in the base rock, if you will. And then the piece that comes in 90s off of that, you know, that'll be another 12 or 13 inches, if I remember right. And so these would basically be hopefully no more than this out of ground level, which is what I want, because we want gravity to come out of the camper, you know, and it's technically under the belly of the camper where those tubes start. So you don't get a whole lot of drop, if you will, which it doesn't require a lot. You know, it comes out a little pressurized because the black tank builds up, but the gray tank, we don't let it build up. I will if I have to, but I like to leave it open and let it drain full time. We, again, may have to do something a little different than our hoses. They may be too long for this, but we could do PVC. I just don't want the pitch to be wrong so that it doesn't move solids down the ramp. You know what I'm saying?
Basically, Shannon likes to leave the water running, so he likes to leave the gray tanks open so that he doesn't have to empty them all the time.
That is correct. And I have a black tank flush, therefore I don't need the gray water to come through behind the black to clean it out, because I have fresh water coming in on the front of the camper that sprays through the black system and clears it out. So I don't need that gray tank pressure like you would if you didn't have a black tank flush. Because you don't want, you don't want the last thing coming out those tubes to be your black tank flush with nothing else behind it. I think you could imagine why. It stinks. We've experienced, I think we're on our 3rd iteration of hose configuration there at KOA and finally nailed it. Okay, I stuck this on there for demonstration purposes. It doesn't want to come off now.
By the way.
Yes.
He had me try to pull some of the pieces apart earlier, and he was like, pull that piece off. It was glued. I can't pull that apart.
I was checking my glue job.
Is that what that was?
It was good, by the way. They're not coming apart. These things set up really quickly.
Yeah.
This has been one of the more fun projects. Shannon got ourselves the shade, the tree. We got a beautiful oak right back here that's providing some shade.
It's finally not like sweltering hot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't show it. I'm still sweating profusely, but...
I'm still sweating, but it's just not like as hot as it was.
Yeah, like it's not miserable. You know, there's hot. It's just, yeah, it's just hot. It's not 30 degrees. It's not 50 degrees. It's 90 degrees. And then there's miserable. We're not in that miserable phase anymore. It's just hot now.
Yeah.
But it's good. So now I'm gonna adhere the piece that's going into the Fernco rubber gasket or coupling that's gonna connect to the cast iron pipe, our T-fitting, so that I can run both gray and black at the same time. So this one does actually have to be at a precise angle, whereas the others, they were just basically connection points. No big deal.
This is the important one.
Yeah, this is where we're starting to get into the geometry. We want to make sure things flow and that we got enough out of the ground, but not too much. You know, just the right amount. All right, this may look mildly inappropriate, but this is what we're doing.
It does look mildly inappropriate.
It's unintentional. I had to make sure this one I got at the right angle, and then it goes on all the way. We're not saying anything. That had to be done that way, okay?
I just want you all to know, Kyle has hit his head on this tent at least 15 times. 15.
Can you please make a Walmart big and tall? Please. Like, Shannon, you might be able to hit your head on this. I'm not, like, it doesn't even take a above average height person. Just give me just a few more. Like, just, well, maybe a whole another foot would be great, but yeah. You know, the thing is though, I'm pretty sure I have like new bruises that have turned into calcium, that have turned into like bone basically in my head, because I've hit my head 19,000 times in the camper since we've been doing that. So it's a regular thing now. I don't even say anything when I do it. I just go, oh, well, it's normal. So
I just laugh. It's funny. I can't help it.
It is funny. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
So now we have the 45. I don't know why I just smacked that really loud. We got the 45. This is the part that's going to go in the rubber fitting, and then we tee out, and then we'll go to our 90s. I think we're good to go ahead and tighten this down.
Oh, I just hit my head. Does that make you feel better?
It does. Could you do it again when I'm looking? He's in there. I like these.
It's already things. Tight? Like, that's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Good work.
There's not even any support under it. I'm going to put a rock under it to give it a little support.
Like that nice flat rock? Yeah, that one. That's the one I was thinking of.
It's the one I was thinking of. Oh, too big.
Too big.
How about this little guy? There we go. Just to relieve a little bit of that pressure until we get base rock down on this. So this now puts us, for going vertical, basically right there. And yes, my OCD perfectionism wonders why in the world they put the septic over there so that they had to run this guy at an angle. Because
yeah, I don't really understand that either.
The inlet into the septic is right here, and it's perpendicular. So I could have broken up the footing and found where that elbow is and cut it there, and then we'd have been straight out. But that's unnecessary work when the geometry will still work like this. So I didn't really feel like, you know,
that seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, we had originally wanted to keep the footings anyway. That way it kind of gave us a nice little area that we already knew was designated. That's where the house was. And I'm just gonna deal with that.
Good work, babe.
I might lose sleep over it, but I'm gonna deal with it.
Way to deal with it.
Over there. All right, so now we've got that down in the Fernco rubber coupling. We've gone ahead and glued here and here, here, here. We just need to glue these guys in because we wanted to make sure we had this angle that these were up vertical. Once we get this done, guys, septic's ready for us. That's exciting.
exciting.
Yeah, it is, because all the rest of them are just kind of there. But we had to learn and research how to do this part, and now we're doing it, and we'll have that out of the way.
That's just one thing to mark off of our list, and then we can move on to our next projects and hopefully get us closer to moving out here.
Hey babe.
What?
Technically, now that we're professional plumbers,
I love where this is going.
You love where this is going. Technically, we've got water, kind of. It would be a power flusher, but we could go buy a Turlet and we could just stick it right on top of one of these pipes.
I don't think I like where this is going anymore.
Well, I mean, you know, we might have to build a little outhouse around it, but do we really? We're out in the country.
Yes, I do think you do, really.
How many times have you wanted a Turlet out here?
Every time I've been out here.
There you go. I could make it happen for you. I'm gonna have to build a little pedestal for it and lift it up so that we can use gravity to get her to flow down. We're gonna have to run, you know, water lines to it and stuff, but no big deal. It's all good. Okay, so we're gonna do this at a 90 straight up in the air, right?
Yes.
So one other official test to fully test your septic system, you get old Diet Dr. Pepper 2 liters, you fill them with water, and you pour them in here. This is really not gonna tell us anything because we can't even tell from there on, but I do know if we pour 4 liters of water in here, it should at least fill up to right here and I'd see water. I don't know what this is. This is gonna make me feel good that we can pour water somewhere other than on the
hopefully we don't
ground.
have any water leaking in any of our pipes or seams or anything like that.
I glued them.
Ready?
This is exciting. We're not just pouring it into the ground, we're pouring it into
I know.
septic. Let's do it. I'm faster than you.
Nothing's leaking over here.
That very scientific test passed.
Could you see anything going in the tank?
No, because the cap is way over there and this water, shoot, it may barely be getting in there. I don't know. Hey.
Hey, at least we know we're okay right here.
Yeah, I don't see any wet dirt. Everything held up. I think it's ready for camper. Good job, babe. Another project down. We did this one on our own.
We did. That's exciting.
Well, that and a little help from YouTube, but everything.
That's how you get things done, right?
We get help from YouTube, whether it's us watching it or commenters telling us.
That's right.
It's a pretty tried and true method thus far.
That's exciting.
Okay.
Let's cap it.
Let's cap it, clean up our mess, and get out of here. 1 out of 3 completed.
Septic done.
Done. I guess, does base rock, is that gonna make the list? No, because I only want 3 things on that list. Base rock.
Well, now that septic is done, we can add base rock to the list, so it's still 3 things.
Okay. Darn.
We'll keep it a 3 list maximum.
I don't want it to grow as we're going.
It's not. It's still a 3 item maximum.
Yeah, but I thought we just went from 3 to 2, and now we're going back up to 3.
Well, if you can get people to call us back, maybe we can get that list to get shorter.
I'll bark tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, we'll come back out, backfill with dirt. For a poopy situation, this is a pretty positive situation. I love it.
I do agree with that.
Yeah. Well, guys, as you know, we are trying to get that camper out here, and this was one of the hurdles, and it is complete.
Yes.
I think this is gonna work just fine. We just gotta get the folks to come out, bring some rock, bring some base rock, get the ground up to where we need it. And in the coming days, it's time to start working on the old well and pressure tank and filtration system. We're still waiting to hear the results back on the metals test to know exactly what's in it as far as lead, cadmium, sulfur, zinc, TCE.
Whatever all those metals are.
All this stuff. I don't know. They'll tell us what it is. But this is one step in the right direction, and it feels so good.
Yes,
what a beautiful day for this.
Yes.
Great job.
Good job.
We're plumbers.
Well, I would go that far.
We just plumbed. We just built Lego plumbers.
We played Legos with some pipes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts as plumbing, but we'll see.
Certified plumber. I'll come run your skid steer and then plumb your house right after it.
Don't call him to plumb your house.
I wouldn't either. Hey, we appreciate you guys coming by. If you're new here, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and turn on those notifications. If you've been with us, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Appreciate the comments, the support, the encouragement. Couldn't do it without you, wouldn't do it without you. As always, guys, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.